that was George Formby. Keeping everyone happy in Lancashire. And then 2 generations on, you've got Joy Division, the Smiths, ooh, and Oasis. Ooh. There's a deep vein of, I don't know, what do you call it? Misery, that's what it is, a deep vein of misery in Manchester. That's where I'm from. Yeah, I know. So, Lennox Avenue. Where did it all begin? Well, it began at Sale Grammar School for boys. A guy called Jacob Rees-Mogg, who wants to bring back, now we're the booted us out of Europe. When I say us, I actually live in Europe anyway. He wants to bring back pounds and ounces and the firkin and grammar schools. If he tries to bring back grammar schools, I'm going to buy a gun and come back over, I'm sure. Sale Grammar School for boys. There was Colin, Jim and me. We were friends, and we stuck together through thick and thin in that bloody place, trying to keep ourselves happy with a strange sense of humour we had, and a sense of the ridiculous, and above all, music. We liked the same music, which was R&B. You call it R&B. The Stones, The Pretty Things, Animals, people like that. We didn't like Wah Wah I Love You songs. We liked that. And Jim and I used to go to a market sometimes on Saturday morning in Manchester. It was probably around Shude Hill or somewhere like that. Not there anymore. And sailors used to come over from America into the port of Manchester. It was a big port then. And they'd bring things with them to sell to make a little bit of extra money. So on the market there were things like jeans, magazines like Mad Magazine. I just discovered last night that Mad Magazine is still going. I loved it. Alfred E. Newman. And at one point Jim sort of started rooting around the records that one store had, and came up with some blues records on sort of weird labels like Chess and Arhoolie. Things that we couldn't get in Manchester in the record shops. It was just British stuff. And we'd take them back to his attic bedroom, and Colin, Jim and I would listen to them on the Dansette record player in glorious mono. And Colin said one day, you know, we could do this. Colin's father was a musician. He had a job in the day, but in the evening he'd play in clubs and bars and things like that, play piano and organ. So one of his friends got Colin a guitar, and someone else, another friend of his father, showed him how to play it. And Colin said to us, I can play guitar now, I can teach you. You have to buy guitars. So we did. Well, my parents bought me mine, and Jim, Colin and I went to Mazel's, which is now buried under the overpass. It was just demolished God knows how many years ago. It was a pawn shop, P-A-W-N shop. Mainly electrical stuff, but it had a little shop next door to it with big padlocks on it, which you needed at that time in Manchester. I don't know, you probably don't need that anymore, do you? Ha! and anyway, that shop was full of musical instruments, saxophones, trumpets, trombones, guitars, electric guitars, amplifiers, all sorts of things. And Jim bought a Rossetti, a Lucky 7, which is an Italian guitar, which was not at all lucky. You were very lucky if you could press the strings to the fingerboard, because the neck was so bent, and you were very lucky if you could keep it in tune. But the three of us together, with our not so good instruments, we managed to get a few songs together. And then Colin said, we should go electric. I said, okay. We got hold of electric guitars and amplifiers. I had my parents again, they stumped up for a Hofner and a Watkins copycat amplifier, good amplifier. And Jim went back to Mazel's and traded in, and he got a top 20 bass. He decided he wanted to play bass. It was a copy of a Fender Precision bass. It looked like it, but it wasn't it. But it was good enough. We took all of this stuff back to Jim's house, and they had cellars. It was a big house, and we set it all up there, and we practiced. It was good because no one could hear us, because it must have been bloody awful to begin with. But we slowly got better, and then we were joined by a guy called Fruit Brooks. Now Fruit was in the year above us, and he played piano, and he played sort of boogie blues piano. So we managed to get an upright piano down into the cellar. God knows how we did that. Later on we got it back out and took it to one of our gigs, because there weren't electric pianos then. We then looked around for a drummer. Kind of hard to find. We had a couple we tried that didn't really fit in with what we were doing, and then we discovered Charlie. Charlie, he wasn't far away. He was actually at school with us, but we didn't know he was the drummer. He didn't say, but he was. Not only was he a drummer, he was a really bloody good drummer, and he had a fantastic kit. So that was it. After a while, we were kind of up and running, and we did our first gigs. It's the usual first gigs for any small band. It's little halls here and there, youth club dance, tennis club dance, school dance, that sort of thing. And we did all sorts of little stuff like that. And then we got lucky. I think Colin made our luck. He did most things, Colin. He sort of looked after the instrument, set us up on stage, made sure everything was in tune, got the gigs, got paid. Apart from that, it was bloody useless. So we got this gig at the Magic Village Club. We went along, did an audition, and Roger Eagle, the owner of the club, he liked us. Don't know why, but he did, and he put us on. And most of the time, we were first band to a band that was coming on later, because the club went on quite late into the night, and we had to get back because we had to go to school and things like that. And so sometimes we didn't see the second band. Sometimes we just had a chat with them in the dressing rooms behind, and hello, that sort of thing. And the main bands came from exotic places, from far away, like Birmingham or Sheffield. But also there were big bands turned up as well. Roger managed to persuade a lot of people to come down and play there. The Nice, Coliseum, Barclay James Harvest, John Mayall, that sort of thing. And even bigger bands, you know. Pink Floyd played on that stage. David Bowie, Mark Bolan. Right at the end, apparently, Freddie Mercury turned up. He wasn't called Freddie Mercury, he was Freddie something else then, I don't know what. So they were good. We didn't get to see them because we just, you know, we couldn't stay out late because we were too young. But sometimes we did. We snuck out and we saw them. And then it was going so well, and we got older and we decided, is this going to work for us or not? I thought, well, no. And I didn't want to sort of go touring. I didn't want to be famous. I didn't want any money. I've never been interested in money. So I got a job. Well, not I got a job. I went to college first and learned stuff, and then got a job. And everyone else followed me. They all got some further education and got jobs. So that was the end of it. But it was worth it. It was worth it. But the thing is now, I'd be able to show you what we were like. We made a record. We made a demo record to tout round. We got other gigs from it as well. We went as far away as Sheffield. Woo! And we had some photographs taken of us by Jim Land when we were on stage in black and white, but then everything in Manchester was in black and white, I can tell you. There wasn't any colour. But you didn't have mobile phones then. You didn't have, well, we didn't know anyone that had a cine camera, so there was no record of us playing, sound or vision. So I can say, hand on heart, as I sit there, we were bloody marvellous. we were basically, we were top not bad. Top not bad. That's what we achieved, which I think that's all we set out to achieve. So, was it worth it? Well, yeah. You know, we met a lot of really interesting people and had a fine time. It was worth it. Yeah, it really was. And the fact that we played on in that stage where so many other famous people have played was nice to think about. There were even people from the States came over and played in the Magic Village. The blues tours that came round in the 60s, the guys that were playing in Manchester Free Trade Hall finished at 10 o'clock. And you know, they'd want to go somewhere and have a drink and play some more. And Magic Village was the place. Apparently they had a sort of a few sessions in there when they just turned up and played. We didn't know about it. Nobody told us. But we did see the tour once. We went to the Free Trade Hall. And you can see it on film. The Germans, being efficient, filmed it when they came to Germany. And you can get it on DVD. Yeah, people like Beefheart and Country Joe and the Fish played there all the way from America. It was quite strange. Yeah. Colin died early, right in the middle of a successful recording studio career. A real shame. Jim died a couple of years ago, but he had a really good life with Christine on the banks of Loch Long in Scotland. I spent some time in Scotland too. Great place, good place to live. I think of them now and again. I don't have to think about Charlie, he's still alive. I've seen him in the past now and again. I know where he is, I know where I am, he knows where I am. And I maybe go and see him this year. Yeah, so that was it. I'm going to finish off with a song by Country Joe and the Fish. Don't worry, I'm not getting the banjo out again. It shows you that music has changed. Now everyone's so bloody serious, and they're all talking about being in and out of love and wet things like that. So I'm singing you a Country Joe and the Fish song. They were at Woodstock. That's how big they were. Come on, all of you big strong men. Your Uncle Sam needs your help again. Got himself in a terrible jam way down yonder in Vietnam. So put down your books and pick up a gun. We're gonna have a whole lot of fun. And it's 1, 2, 3. What are we fighting for? Can't help it if we don't give a damn. Next stop is Vietnam. And it's 5, 6, 7, 8. Open up the pearly gates. There ain't no time to wonder why. Whoopee, we're all gonna die. Come on, mothers throughout the land. Send your boys off to Vietnam. Come on, pops, don't hesitate. Send them off before it's too late. Be the first one on your block to have your boy come home in a box. There's more verses, but that's probably enough, isn't it? Well, that's it. That's what happened. Yeah. Next time you see me, I'll be wearing my cowboy outfit. Adios, amigos.